Saxon Algebra 1/2, lesson 96. Students, we made it. Our last lesson before spring break. Yay! We're going to build on what we did last time, which is the swimming of fish. All right, so we're just gonna practice. Wait, first, I must have the ceremonial crossing off of the last lesson. Okay, I feel so much better now. We're just gonna practice equations where we have lots of different terms that we'll have to combine and swim things around. It's just gonna get a little bit more complicated, but this is gonna make you feel like an official boss at algebra. Copying carefully is sadly a big part of these problems. Okay, I'll double check while you copy. One of the nice things about copying, and one of the reasons that I highly recommend that you copy problems out of the book as they are and not try to do the first step in your head all the time, is that when you copy the problem, you notice things about it. One of the things I want you to notice about this is that we have multiple terms with an X in it. Okay, we'll have to combine those. We have some plain number terms, officially called constants, but I like to call them plain numbers because it says what they are. And we pay attention to those because we know we're gonna have to swim those around. And then we pay close attention to the equal sign. The equal sign is a dividing line. And when we cross the equal sign, we have to manage things carefully. When we're working on one side of the equal sign, we have a little bit more freedom. So what I notice is that these three terms that have X in them, they're all on the same side of the equal sign. So when I combine those, that's called adding like terms. That's different than swimming fish. I don't have to do anything to the other side when I combine these because all I'm doing is just straightening things up. I'm not swimming anything across the equal sign. So I can add 4x plus 3x is 7 minus 2, that gives me 5x. I can do that without doing anything to the right-hand side because all of this is just cleaning up the left-hand side. So we do that first. 5x plus 2, I just copy that, equals 12. Okay, good, so I've got all the x fish together in one term. I didn't even have to swim any x fish across the equal sign. They're right here on the left. So what I'd like to do is to swim this guy to the other side. Notice I'm kind of changing my metaphors from the best friend scenario. That works when we only have a simpler equation like this. When we have more complicated things like this, we have to expand beyond the best friends and talk about swimming the fish. So now I'm at this point, I'm gonna stick with my fish metaphor, but if you recognize this as a best friends going home situation, that is exactly right. Okay, so I want the X fish here. I'm gonna swim the plain number fish over to the other side. Because I'm crossing the equal sign, I have to do it to both sides. That's what I mean when I say swim the fish. Then we get 5x, this cancels. And then our last step is just to divide away that last. We call this a numeric coefficient. It's a constant in front of a variable. We divide. We could multiply by the reciprocal. That will work too. But if I don't have fractions, if I don't have a fraction here, I like to just divide. If I would have had a fraction here, then I would use the reciprocal. Okay, and then we get x equals 2, and that's our final answer. Did I get it right? Yay, yes. John likes to make the point over and over again that you can test this by taking this value for 2 and plugging it in to the original equation everywhere you have an x, and then you can simplify and prove because you'll get 12 equals 12. I'm not going to take the time to do it. John does it in the book. I don't like to check my answer unless I need to check my answer. It's true that all algebra problems should work. If you find an x equals value, you should be able to plug it back in. But we don't need to do that on every single problem. That's overkill. Let's do one more. Ready? You write it down and I'll check. Okay. As you were writing this down, you probably noticed that this equation is even more of a hot mess than the first one. So again, I like to find my equal sign, draw attention to that, and the first thing I'm going to do is add like terms. I'm going to look for things on the same side of the equation, or equal sign, not equation, equal sign. I'm going to look for things here that go together. And by that I mean they're either x terms or they are plain number terms. Later we'll use this rule and we'll have more variety over here. And we'll get to that, but right now we just have plain numbers and we have the variable of x. So let's find the x's. Remember that the sign is a part of the package, the sign, the number, and the letter. The letters have to match, the sign and the numbers can be anything. So I have positive 3, sometimes that helps, minus, and sometimes this helps, 1x. So that gets me to 2x. Minus 4 gives me minus 2x. Huh, okay. And then this doesn't have anything, it's just by itself, so I copy that. Now I put in the equal sign. Now I go to the other side and look, we have like terms over here, right? We have 2 plain numbers. So I'm gonna say, did I copy that wrong? Oh no, 5, this should be an x. That's what I copied wrong. Okay, there. Squeeze that x in. 5x minus 2x. So forget about the 12. He doesn't get to be part of this. It's the 5x and the minus 2x. That gives me the 3x. And then 12 is the plain number on this side. Okay, so that's always the first step, is add like terms. Second step, swim the fish. I don't like this negative. I want to add 2x. That means I'm going to be swimming the fish over here, the x fish, right? I would rather get rid of the negative than if I could have subtracted the 3, right? And then I would have just had a big negative x fish. It's fine, but I prefer not to. All right, and so if my x fish are over here, that means I have to send the plain number fish to the other side, right? So once I make the decision, I'm going to cancel this x and send the x guy swimming over here, then I know I have to cancel and swim that fish this way. I'm doing it all in one step this time. When your brain is ready to do it all in one step, you can. And if you show the steps really clearly like that, most students find it manageable. But you decide when it's time for you to do that. Minus 5 equals 5x. Well, that's not right. What did I do wrong? Oh, right here, it's 12. So it's 12 right there. So it becomes, okay, see what I did? I copied 2 even though the number was 12. Okay, so it's plus 12, so that means I need to subtract 12 from both sides. And that means, oh my gosh, I'm doing this problem. Let me just start over on this problem. This is a mess. I'm taking such a simple thing and making it so ridiculously hard. Ready? Copying over, restart. Okay, we pay attention to the equal sign. We start by adding like terms, which means combining things that are on the same side of the equal sign. Here's an x, here's an x, here's an x. It's 3x minus 1x is 2x. 2x minus 4 is minus 2x. And then this constant is by itself. Beautiful. Here, I have 5x minus 2x, that's 3x. And then I have plus 12. That's the first step of adding like terms. Now, I am going to swim my fishies. That's the second step. I've decided I don't like that minus sign. I'm going to swim the x fish over. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides, and that's going to cancel that out. Now, since my x fish are over here, I need to swim the plain number fish over to the other side, because the plain number fish and the x fish, I don't want them on the same side in the end. I want them separate. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Okay, then that cancels. Now I have minus 15 equals 5x. Beautiful. And then my last step is just to isolate that x. That's been my goal all along, right? Divide by 5. If I had fractions in here, I would choose to multiply by the reciprocal. But since I just have whole numbers, I can divide and it'll be fine. And I get x equals minus 3. And that is the right answer. And I did not lose my mind like I did the first time through. Yay! Yay for not losing your mind. It's okay, you guys. Sometimes, I mean, you saw I just do it. I just did it. You just make enough little silly mistakes that your brain is going in circles. Just start over and notice I didn't erase this or rip it out of my book or do anything dramatic. I just made it clear, no, I don't mean this. And then I moved on to a fresh piece of paper. I highly recommend that when you find yourself just like, you know, swimming in a sea of crazy like I was just doing. Just start over. Don't worry about it. Don't try to erase it. That's not necessary. Just leave it there. And know that everybody has moments like this where everything falls to pieces. And it's okay. Just start over and your brain does fine, right? Look, I recovered. And look how neat that is. I'm very happy with how it turned out. That's it. That's the end of lesson 96. That's the last of our new lessons before the midterm. Yes, there will be a problem like this on the test. I'll give you a chance to practice it for the next few days with more examples, but make sure you understand. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.